Yo, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to a brand new video. It's your boy Turo. I'm here with Dad for Watch Series episode 20. Day 27. We're finally at Watch episode 20 now.
Yes, I can't believe it. It's a milestone. Day 20, episode 27. You're almost out of the month of April.
3 more days after this.
Any reflection on, before we get into this watch episode, which, by the way, is the Orlando Magic Charlotte Hornets from the 2002 first round, series tied 1-1, game 3. But before we get into all this, which we've already been talking off camera, and we've already skipped to the second half, because we're going into halftime right now. Any reflection on the previous 26 days of Watch? Or, I'm sorry, not of Watch. Episodes of Watch, but just daily posts.
Daily posts. Any, like,
it was
a
challenge that you...
It was pretty tough, but I'm staying strong. I'm going to finish it. Trust and believe I'm going to finish it. No, but one thing I can say, I feel like my editing has gotten a lot better.
I've seen leaps and bounds over just the daily work.
Yeah.
So I want to commend you on that.
So much fun. I don't know why. I just enjoy editing these videos. And I've kind of seen it grow from the first 10 days to the second 10 days, and then this week too. So it's been fun.
Yeah. Well, listen, I think you did a great job. Somebody who just started.
Yeah, a couple
months ago. And our original schedule was a post a week.
Yeah.
And within a couple months, you're doing daily posts. So, I mean, your audience is growing with you.
Yeah.
You've gained, I want to say, like 20, almost 30 subs in a month.
Yeah.
You've gained about 30 subs in a month.
I am super happy about that. We're 1 away from 70 now.
Yeah. We're at 69.
Yo, 69.
Nice.
Yo.
He doesn't get that, but it's fine.
I don't.
It's cool.
But we're at 70.
Shout out section. Shout out Uncle Jason. He'll get that reference of.
I don't.
We spoke about it.
I don't get it.
It's cool. No, it's fine. It's fine. You don't need to get it. You don't need to get it right now. Shout out Matt. I'm sending the 2 of those guys little package in the mail that they'll like.
You should make the what you made for them, and you should wear it every day. Because you were a former Knicks fan. Before they got suckish, you were a Knicks fan.
No, I wasn't.
According to Uncle Jason, according to Matt, according to Tony, according to all of them, you were a Knicks fan.
Nah, that's not true, but we'll let them go with it.
I believe it.
We'll let them run with the narrative of that, but it's cool.
You being a Knicks fan?
Yeah, it's cool. So
good though. We're not here for the Knicks.
No, so we are here for 2002. This is a watch that we wanted to do. Well, I wanted to do this watch a while back, and in the pre-production of this, look, we're even talking about pre-production and stuff like that. This is crazy.
Yeah, this is wild.
So you said that you wanted to review James Harden.
Yes.
So in my research and everything, it was kind of hard to just isolate one, because James Harden doesn't necessarily have a signature game. He's got a lot of big scoring outputs, but he doesn't have a signature game. So in thinking about that, I was like, well, let's look at somebody who was James Harden before James Harden, and let's highlight that. And this is somebody that we've highlighted in a previous episode. Well, we've highlighted both of these guys in a previous episode. One got taken down.
Yeah, that was so corny.
So Baron Davis is in this game. Young Baron Davis, Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah.
And then T-Mac, who was the previous generation's James Harden. So we've got these 2 guys. Eastern Conference first round. There are 4 and 5 seeds. So the Orlando Magic is the 5 seed. Charlotte Hornets are the 4 seed. That's Monty Williams. Yes, Monty Williams, the coach. That's Monty Williams right there.
Monty Williams.
Yes,
I'm blanking on his name.
He was a coach for the OKC Thunder. I believe he's coaching right now
Oh,
in
really?
Phoenix. Yeah, and he coached Chris Paul in the Pelicans. Yeah,
Really?
and that's him at the free throw line.
Wow.
So you're gonna see
That's crazy.
some different guys in here that I haven't seen in a really long time. No Derek Fisher.
Is that? Oh, your
What?
boy. Your boy. Did
Yeah.
I just see Horace Grant?
I think so.
No way.
I
Horace
think
Grant
so.
is still on his team.
I no.
Did he
I
leave and
think
come
so.
back? Or
I believe that is Horace Grant, and I think that is Horace Grant,
I think it is.
and we might see a Sean Kemp sighting, because I believe
Sean
Sean Kemp was.
Didn't he end his career with Orlando?
No, he ended it with Denver, but I believe he was on this Magic team.
Ooh. He stepped right
That's
into that three.
Matt Geiger, I believe. Yeah, so I'm blanking on a couple names, but it'll get to me because we were kind of watching throughout. We're gonna kind of like get caught up in the third quarter. It's a 50-49 game right now. But this was a young, up and coming Hornets team. They had a young PJ Brown of Celtics fame, who famously was a late signee for them when they won the championship. Yeah, that's Horace.
Oh,
that's Horace Grant.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I can tell that was Horace Grant just off of the jump shot.
Yeah, off of the shot that we hate.
But he still has that pick and pop though.
Yeah, he still got it too.
So we've seen him in
This is like 8 years later, right?
This is 8 years later from when we were watching him
Shaq,
and Watch. Yeah, yep. Because that was
Shaq
94
Penny.
when we were watching him. Yep.
Damn.
94, 95. We've got
and one. That should have been an and one.
Armstrong was in the dunk contest and famously laid the ball up.
What?
I swear to you.
No way. He laid the ball up in a dunk contest?
Yeah. Yeah. He was in an NBA dunk contest and laid the ball up. Wow, I'm shocked that's Monty Williams right there. So, Magic are on an 8-0 run. They just took the lead 53-50, and now Charlotte's calling a timeout. So I saw Tractor Trailer, rest in peace. Great collegiate player with Michigan.
I've heard of that name before.
Robert Tractor Trailer was a phenomenal player and passed away some years back. We've got Baron Davis. We've got David Wesley on that team. Baron Davis and David Wesley was a decent backcourt. As I skip through.
All this extra stuff.
All of this extra stuff. I mean, this is kind of a flashback game.
Ooh.
I mean, as you can see, they're promoting.
Charges.
They're promoting Nuggets Thunder. So, yeah, PJ Brown was an excellent big for that time. Like I said, he helped Boston with their one championship. Campbell played
He looks familiar.
He played for the Lakers when they had gotten Shaq.
Really?
Elden Campbell was a decent big in the 90s. Tractor Trailer's in there. That's Paul Silas. He played his professional years with Boston.
With Boston,
like with AP teams and all that.
That was like the 60s.
Yeah.
Jesus, like
Paul Silas is up there, man.
This is like 40 years later.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. This is like 40 years later. And I'm pretty sure I saw Doc Rivers.
Doc Rivers is the coach for the Magic. Yes.
Okay.
So Doc Rivers, this was, I believe, his first go round as a coach.
Wow.
And this is where he gets his reputation because he's a really good coach, but this isn't a really good team. So this Magic team had high expectations for having gotten T-Mac, who was the biggest free agent the year that they got him. The year before, they got Grant Hill, who was the biggest.
Grant Hill on that team?
Yeah, but Grant Hill was never healthy.
Yeah.
So like you never got to see Grant Hill actually play with this squad,
Uh-huh.
which that would have been if you had Grant Hill in his prime. These were his prime years.
Uh-huh.
Grant Hill was a co-rookie of the year with Jason Kidd, but he was in the All-Star game rookie year. Like Grant Hill was
Rookie
a
year?
monster. Yeah, Grant Hill was supposed to be the next Michael Jordan as far as talent wise and stuff.
Wow.
What we know now is that Grant Hill was more along the lines of a LeBron James.
Yeah.
In the way that he played. So if you would have had Grant Hill, prime Grant Hill, and then prime T Mac at the same time, these teams make it to the finals. But they don't have that. So they just have.
And they also have Horace Grant too.
They do have Horace Grant, who's
that would have been
excellent vet to teach them how to be professional.
Yeah.
So 5 seed could very easily be a top 3 seed if they have Grant Hill. There goes track right there.
Wow. Are they calling goaltend or are they calling clean? I don't know.
They call it goaltend.
Oh, they call it goaltend? Okay.
Yeah. So we're looking at a 1-point game. And yeah, this is young Baron Davis. Baron Davis was so good out the gate.
Really?
As far
as
the
beginning of the game?
No, I'm talking about like in the beginning of his career. Like the way that his career ended was a little bit, he kind of bounced around the league a little bit, so he doesn't get the respect that he deserves. But as you know, he's my favorite point guard and kind of one of my muses. That was a great pass.
That was, yeah.
It's one of my muses as far as kind of like how I like to, I guess, cater my game to and what I like to see kind of in my point guards. As you can see, third quarter, he's got 18 points.
He got 3 fouls though.
Yeah, but we're in the third quarter. We're not worried about him having 3
in like the second.
Third, yeah, it's not the second quarter. We're in the third quarter. We're pushing halfway through the third quarter at this point.
Yeah, we are.
So, I mean, yeah, the Hornets had a decent team, but let's not forget, and this would be interesting, that these two teams could look very different in this scenario right here in 2002. If the Hornets don't trade away their 1996 draft pick, which is Kobe Bryant. You have Kobe Bryant and Baron Davis on the same team, and then Grant Hill stays healthy. You have Grant Hill, T-Mac versus Baron Davis, Kobe Bryant. That's an interesting. That's an interesting playoff matchup.
Yeah, yeah.
So
that would be a very fun watch episode if that would have ever happened.
Oh yeah, but it didn't. Unfortunately, it never sees the light of day. But
I wonder why the Hornets traded Kobe. Was it because he was straight out of high school?
Yeah, I mean at the time, the only other guy that was traded out of high school, which was Kevin Garnett the year before, it was like, guys that are bigger can make the transition. Hey, quick aside, we're in day 27, so everybody knows that it's April 27th, which we are 4 episodes into the Last Dance, the Jordan documentary.
Oh, yeah.
But do you remember in episode 2 when they were talking about him getting drafted and they were saying that, yeah, I mean, he's a good pick, Jordan, but he's not 7 foot, so he's not going to help them win.
Yeah.
That was the mentality.
It was a really good pick, but I mean, if he was a 7-footer, he would have went first overall.
Yeah, so
and that was when I heard that, I was like,
but that was the thing is that he's not going to help them win because he's not 7 foot. So that was the stigma on, draft picks was
12 years later, after they saw
Still,
how
yeah. I mean, even through the 90s, it
even
was a different time than what it is today.
even after they saw how Jordan developed.
Yeah, but you're talking about Kobe was pretty much the same build as Michael Jordan, but he was out of high school. So you're talking about a kid.
Ah, that's right.
You're talking
Yeah,
about a 17-year-old.
yeah.
You know, and
Was
they
it
were
true
like,
that he couldn't even sign his own contract?
no, he
Like
couldn't.
his parents had
So
to
yeah,
sign it?
yeah, his parents at the time.
That's crazy.
I mean, they were talking about the high school guys, and this is where this circles back around and how it relates to this. They were talking about even like with KG, with Kobe, and then with T Mac a year later. They were talking about those guys not playing road games
Oh yeah,
because they're
I
fresh out
remember.
of high school
Yeah,
and they're traveling with grown men that like to go out to clubs and drink.
yeah.
And they didn't want the NBA was so afraid of having an underage drinking scandal or something along those lines
Yeah.
that they were going to monitor these kids coming out of high school and not allow them to play away games.
In the road games. That's crazy.
So they couldn't travel with the team.
Oh, imagine being in Kobe's situation and living in LA. Oh, that was a pretty clutch three, that extended lead. Um, but imagine being Kobe living in LA, not being able to play home away games.
I mean, yeah. So to fast forward to 2003 in the 03 draft, you know, the famous first pick in the 03 draft is LeBron James.
Yeah.
Second pick is Darko Milicic. Darko Milicic is 17 years old during that draft. So he had to actually sue the league in order to allow him to be drafted because it was eligibility issues, but he had already been a pro and things like that. He had been a pro for a couple years.
Yeah, because he was an international 17-year-old. So they basically weren't going to draft him? Is that what it was?
Yeah, they were going to make him like wait another year.
That's crazy.
But he was like, well, if I was in America, I would have been graduating high school now.
Yeah.
Because that's where he was. But he was a professional basketball player. And that's what a lot of the international guys, your Tony Parkers, your Lucas, even like to bring it to today's game, Luka is the youngest kid to have ever played in an NBA game because he played in a preseason game against the Thunder when he was 16 years old.
Oh, that was with Russ, right?
With his international team,
yeah. That was against Russ?
Yeah. So, you know, there were...
That's crazy. He was 16.
Yeah. Yeah, so
he was still getting buckets, too. At 16?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's something that I say a lot, and I get it from, I guess I quote Real Madrid when they talk about Luka, is that when he was 16, 17 years old, he was the best player in the organization. He just had no clue. And I talk about that as far as you with the guys that we have is you are the most talented player that we have. You just don't realize it. You have no clue. The amount of skill and untapped potential that you actually possess that you don't necessarily tap into 100% of the time. And if you start to get into that where you're tapping into that potential and really, you know, going all out in workouts and doing some of the things that like you're capable of, if you just go in and no fear or anything like that, it'll get scary for people because the amount of talent that you actually possess that just goes, untapped. It's scary because that's how truly gifted you are. But you know, we're not here about you. We're not talking about Kobe, all these other guys. We're talking about the 02 Hornets versus the 02 Magic. So T-Mac, 23.
23.
Rest of the team has 22. That's how scary T-Mac was. T-Mac was a scoring machine. Yeah, T-Mac was an absolute the true definition of a bucket.
Wow.
True definition of a bucket. And I mean, we talk about T Mac in regards to Kevin Durant, in regards to James Harden, just off of the sheer way that he scored and the way that the many different ways that he can just get points.
Now I have a question.
Yes.
So the T Mac and James Harden comparison, that's really only a comparison because of the way they could score and manufacture points.
It was the way that they scored because T Mac could get it off the dribble. So like the easy comparison is T Mac and KD because of their length.
Yeah.
And their shot, their range. But the actual comparison is T Mac and James Harden because their careers are also playing out in a similar way of not having the postseason success.
Yeah.
So that's held against them, which is unfair. For the most part, it's unfair. Some of it is warranted because like I said, with James Harden, you want to watch James Harden, but there's no real like signature game. And like when we're doing these watch series, we have this running theme of signature games in guys' careers. So when we focus on one guy, we're looking at a signature game. And James Harden just doesn't have that unless you want to just throw out just random regular season games where he's getting 50.
Yeah.
But
he's also getting 50 on the worst defensive teams in the league.
It's not even just that. It's just that defense has it's become so secondary.
Horace Grant.
Yeah, we established that. But it's so secondary now because everybody just kind of like, gets theirs offensively.
Mm-hmm.
With the way that the rules have changed and how free flowing everything is.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to kind of score nowadays. Oh, wow. Okay.
What?
Patrick Ewing's in this game too.
No way.
Pat's in this game. Yep.
Is that who just got that block?
Yeah, that's number 6 on the Magic. Pat.
What?
Yeah. Yep. Wow. So you got Troy Hudson, who's number 11 on the Magic. He was a very good point guard for the Timberwolves for a few years. Matt Garrity, I think his name was. Something along those lines. He was a good pick and pop center. You've got 8? Pat in his last year. That's Patrick Ewing right there.
Damn, I could tell by the way he's running.
Horace Grant's in this game. This is a wild game.
Yeah.
I did never realize how crazy this is. We're at 40 seconds left in the third quarter. Yeah, that's Pat. Look at Pat going across that lane with that one dribble 1-2.
You could just tell that's
even in the last year.
Running.
Even in the last, because this is the last year of his career.
That's crazy.
But it's like you look at the team that's put around T Mac, and it's like he doesn't have much help.
Yeah.
So, he gets unfairly judged for the lack of postseason success. Because, like we were talking off camera, your team, the 76ers, they had that one run in 07, and then we were looking at 01. The very next year, which is this year, they're a 6 seed, and they're about to get swept. They have that 1 year where they make it to the finals, but everything else, they're getting knocked out in the first round. But you don't hear that same criticism and the same jokes about Allen Iverson that you would hear about a T-Mac. That it was the same thing. He couldn't get out the first round. And that was the running joke is that, he goes up 3-1 on the Pistons. I believe it was like the following year after this. He goes up 3-1 on the Pistons. It was the year that they make it to the finals. Or a year that they're contending. And they interview him after the game, and the reporter asks him, like, how does it feel to get this win? They go up 3-1. first round, and he says it feels great to get out the first round. And then they lose. They blow that series.
They blow the 3-1 lead?
Yeah, they blow the 3-1 lead in the first round.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, he gets. It's fair. It's fair criticism because you blew a 3-1 lead.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he didn't have the help.
Now, did they expect this Magic team to make it deep, make a deep playoff run?
I'm gonna say yes because, like I said, 2 years in a row they get the top free agent in free agency. Those two respective summers, so they get Grant Hill, and then he starts having injury problems.
Yeah.
And then they get T-Mac, and it's like, well, Grant Hill's gonna get healthy, and when he does, we've got T-Mac. We've got two number one options that fit well with each other.
Yeah.
So that's why it was a thing of like, let's put a bunch of these complementary pieces around these guys because when Grant Hill gets back, like everything will be back to normal, and we'll be competing for championships. But it just never happened. It never happened. So that's kind of
honestly, if you want my honest opinion, that's kind of the in my opinion, that's the wrong way to approach it. Because, like, you're basically relying on this one guy to come back, right? They were basically putting all their trust and belief that Grant Hill was going to come back and be 100%. And with T-Mac, they would make it to the finals, correct?
Yeah, they compete for championships. Because a Grant Hill, T-Mac team, if they're both, because they're both in their primes at this time, and it's like if they both got to their proper prime, they're making it out of the East a couple times, and then they're battling with the Spurs and the Lakers.
You see, I don't doubt that, but like what really happened with no Grant Hill is look at the surrounding pieces. They have a last year Patrick Ewing. Right, yeah. They have an older Horace Grant, and they have a bunch of like you said, complementary.
Complementary pieces.
I can't say the word. Yeah, so they have all these extra pieces that fit well with these guys, but it's like.
But you're missing a major piece.
Yeah, exactly. You're missing that major piece.
But that's what I'm saying is that it's hard to properly assess this team as it's constructed because.
If you don't have that one piece that you need to complete this team, then what's the real reason of like the construction of the team, if that makes sense?
Well, because they didn't expect him to be as injured as he actually was. They thought, all right, well, you'll rehab and then you'll come back and everything is fine. They didn't realize how
what injury did he have?
It was like foot and ankle injuries, but it was like one right after the other, and it completely altered his career.
Wow.
Because we could be looking at Grant Hill in the same sense of what we look at LeBron James as.
Mm-hmm.
So
wow.
So really? I feel like LeBron James is the greatest player of all time.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to make that argument with anybody because it is what it is. The Jordan documentary is great to kind of like show the younger kids what Michael Jordan was and what he meant to our generation. But I was blessed enough to see damn near all of Michael through, all of Kobe, and all of LeBron.
Yeah.
Right? And then me being the student that I am, I went back and watched the Larry Bird, the Magic Johnson, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Like I studied those guys, and it's like, no, LeBron is the best. He's not the most accomplished, but when you look at those early teams and when you look at the way that those early teams were constructed,
Uh-huh.
and then you take into consideration the amount of stacking that was done to go against him. Guys were grouping up to go against him.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, when he teams up in Miami, it's like, whoa, 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 this ain't fair.
Uh-huh.
Can't do this.
Yeah.
But you have, you have the Spurs who have 3 and 4 stars. You have the Warriors who have 3 and 4 stars. You have the Mavs who have 2 definite Hall of Famers. Let me think in my head, off the top of my head. They have like 2 or 3 Hall of Famers on that team, possibly even 4 Hall of Famers on that Mavs team, which we hold against him. He should have won that. The Thunder, who have an easy 3 Hall of Famers on that team.
Maybe 4.
Don't
With,
say it.
Who?
Oh, I thought you were trying to be funny.
No. I'm being serious. Like Serge Ibaka.
Yeah, again, 3 and 4 stars. Like,
yeah.
So the amount of stacking that it took, and yet and still, he made the East look like it was a JV.
Yeah.
Right? So look at what's happening right now. Is that I feel like he's the MVP of the season. It's not even a debate, but we're gonna give it to Giannis because he's having the same numbers that he had last year, and he's got the number 1 record in the league. But nobody's holding against him that he has the number 1 record in the league in the Eastern Conference. If LeBron had the number 1 record in the league,
it's the Eastern
Conference is weaker. So it's like he does it in the East and completely dominates the East for 15 plus years, goes to the Lakers, and now he's completely dominating the West, and we want to overlook it.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's like, I'm willing to have this argument with anybody because I can back it up with real stats, real facts, and everything like that. But, and I forget where my point is going. My point was. I'm sorry. No, I know what our point was. Our point was when you look at episode 2 of The Last Dance, they're talking about how Scottie Pippen's injured. He has surgery in the offseason. And they start off 8 and 7.
Yeah.
Nobody's blaming Mike and saying, "Oh my." See, that's a hard foul. Nobody is blaming Mike and saying, "See, look, Mike isn't good enough." When Michael Jordan retired, Scottie Pippen got them to the conference finals, got them to the Eastern Conference Finals, and was an MVP candidate. No Scottie Pippen, they're off to a slow start.
Yeah.
Right? Now, that's not to diminish Michael Jordan's greatness. Absolutely great.
But he also said in, I think it was episode 2.
Yeah.
Where he said, I would say Scottie Pippen is my greatest teammate because I never won without him.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got to look at it like, if these guys are healthy together, they win. And then you don't question. And I mean, look, Allen Iverson getting to the finals in 2001 is almost celebrated as though he won a championship. And it's looked at as, well, it's fine because you lost to Shaq and Kobe.
Yeah.
You understand? It's all right. It's okay. You lost to Shaq and Kobe. We talk about Allen Iverson being one of the greatest players of all time, which is warranted and it's justified. Yeah. So why don't we keep that same energy for LeBron? And say, hey, we get it. We get it. You had to go up against Katie, Steph, Clay, and Draymond all at the same time.
That was crazy.
You understand? And even in that last one, he had to do that with no Kyrie. Kyrie gets traded. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Look at the team that he took to the finals. That they literally had to trade away like 6 guys at the trade deadline and get a brand new team, and he still took that team to the finals.
Yeah.
And most of those pieces were from the Lakers, who were one of the worst teams in the league.
Yeah.
So it's like he gets to the finals with these guys, and then he's got to go up against. On top of getting to the finals with these guys, he damn near sweeps through the Eastern Conference with the same guys that are just
He almost swept the East.
Yeah, they only lost 1 game in the Eastern Conference to the Celtics.
Wow. Oh yeah. Okay.
They sweep through the first 2 rounds because they were up 3-0 on the Celtics, and the Warriors were up 3-0.
Yeah.
And they ended up sweeping through the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
That year, because that was the year that was KD's first title.
Yeah, because they won back-to-back years with KD, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was his first year.
Yeah, it was something like that. So it's like, no, maybe we have our years wrong. Regardless, they sweep through, and it's a thing of like, he's taking these guys to the finals, and they were just a bottom feeder in the West. That's a good move right there.
That was a good bump.
We're not talking about this at all. My bottom line, LeBron is one of the greatest, but what I was saying was, the reason why we go down this rabbit hole is that if T-Mac has Grant Hill, there's no telling what greatness comes out of these teams.
Yeah.
They're battling for titles. Look at this bump right here. That's a bump, really 1-2, and then I'm getting through.
That was a really good bump.
Yeah. And that's using the defensive momentum against himself. Yeah, because now you're moving them out of position to even contest. So.
Was it just me or?
Light went off. That's all right.
Yo, I was like, what just happened?
Light went off. That's all right. So.
What was Shane's baddie nickname?
Who's your daddy, baddie?
That's what it was.
Who's your daddy, baddie? All right, so we've got 7 minutes to go in the 4th quarter, and it's 81-77 Hornets. Did I read that right?
So. I believe so, yeah.
All right. Horace Grant's still getting it done, man. Shout out to Horace Grant. Don't shout out to Horace Grant, because Horace Grant, in the preview that I saw to next week's episodes of The Last Dance, it's not gonna be a good look for Horace Grant.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's gonna show some unfavorable things for Horace Grant. So.
Wow.
Damn, Horace Grant. Hate it had to be you.
That's all you have to say?
Yeah, hate it had to be you.
See, now I want. Now after this, I want to watch the next 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen them yet.
No, you haven't. It's been a busy day. So.
See, now I want to watch last night's episodes.
2-point game.
And then.
Yeah, we got a 2-point game with 6.5 left. Charlotte's up.
A little quick timeout.
As we skip through.
You're hitting J. Or K, I mean. Alright, now I'm just gonna get itchy.
Man, that thing stinks, man. I can't wait.
I know. Yo! I'm telling you, it stunk when I got it. When I got it from the doctor, it stunk.
I can't wait.
You know what I just realized?
What's that?
Did you see up top where it said 4/27?
Yes, that was the date. Oh! Yo! Oh my God! Shout out to you!
Yo, that's crazy.
Oh man!
That's the day we're filming.
I'm nice at this, man.
Was that planned or no?
No, it wasn't planned at all. But I'm nice.
That's crazy. This exact day, 18 years ago.
I'm nice. I'm so good, man. I'm so good at this. I'm so good at this. Good
Ooh,
move.
good jab.
That's
And
what,
one.
that's
And
what we were
one. We
working
counted
on.
that.
That's what we were working on last week.
Yeah.
Ha ha.
Rocker series.
Yeah. But just getting him off balance right there. Look,
Got him
catch.
and one.
And then rip, bam. It just switches hip to hip. And now you're in. Look, rocker series.
Ooh!
We were working on that yesterday. You
Ooh.
weren't there, though.
I was not expecting.
Oh, we were working on that with you. That cross.
Oh, yeah.
We added to the cross.
Oh, you guys added to the cross?
Yeah, we added to the cross.
Lucky you guys.
Ooh.
Lucky you guys.
Yeah, we added to that cross, and it was deadly.
Oh. He got
Rest in
5
peace.
fouls.
Rest in peace, Stacey Ogman. Plastic Man. Rest in peace, bro.
Plastic Man.
Yeah, that's his nickname. That was one of the best nicknames in the league at the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Plastic Man? Why was his nickname Plastic Man?
Cause he had really long arms. He could stretch. Plastic.
Oh, okay. That makes
Whatever.
sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Did T-Mac have a lazy eye?
Yes,
I've always wondered because like
Yes.
one eye is looking one
Yeah.
way and one eye is looking straight. I was like, and then sometimes one eye is like lower than the other. It's weird.
So lazy. So lazy.
His eye.
That's wild though that you can have a lazy eye and still drop 50 on somebody.
Exactly at any given night.
Yeah.
Just I got a lazy eye. I'm just gonna drop 50 on this dude. Like what?
Yeah, man.
That's
listen,
like me when I first got my glasses, dropping 30 on people.
That's
being
you dropping.
Absolutely blind.
That's you averaging 28 for a season and needing glasses.
Could barely see the rim, still averaging 28.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Here we got 5.5 left. 5-point game for Charlotte.
Yes.
Here we go.
Let's see if they're trying to go back to T-Mac. They're not.
See, that would have been a quick,
pick and pop.
Yeah.
But they didn't go back to him. I'm interested to see what
the fact
he has
that
right
T-Mac
now.
didn't touch the ball, that entire
that
play,
possession
is kind of concerning. Is it just me?
Baron Davis got 24 and 9 right now. 24 and 9 rebounds.
9 rebounds?
Yeah, 9 rebounds.
What?
Yep. Oh, good pass.
Good pass. He should have just went up.
Big 4-0.
I would have caught it and just...
So it was concerning, but now he's got the ball. Look, they're running that pick and roll action.
They're passing it over him.
Yeah.
They're completely overlooking him right now.
That's a good shot right
there.
there.
That was a good shot. But is it concerning? If you're Doc Rivers right now, who is Orlando's coach, are you kind of concerned that T-Mac has touched the ball for about roughly a couple seconds over 2 possessions?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily because it's not time to close yet.
Okay.
So it's all right because he had over 20 in the first half, and he's consistently scoring throughout and stuff like that. But we want to try to get somebody hot.
Mm-hmm.
Or we're down 4.
He's down 4 with.
But we don't need to. We don't need to make our run so quick.
Okay, you see.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we just need to keep it close, and then once it gets to about 2.5, that's when we want to kind of go on our run.
That was gonna be my next question. So then, if it's not time yet, when would be the time?
It's 2.5 in this situation, given the amount of possessions that you have left, based on the amount of possible possessions, based on the score right now.
Ooh.
You want to wait till about 2.5. Good shot.
Oh, you gotta make that. Here you go, fast break.
Nope, they're gonna pull it out. Pause.
Okay. That was a good save. That was.
So it's a 4-point game with about 3 minutes left.
I don't know if I'm the coach. I'm saying give it to T-Mac. Cause now I don't know if I'm in the wrong mindset. I don't know if I'm in a player mindset, but if I'm the best player on the team, right? I'm the number one option. I'm the best scorer. I'm all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're down 4 with 3 minutes left. In this exact scenario, wouldn't you want the ball as well?
Of course, yeah. But I also understand with it not being time because now what ends up happening is if you try to go on that run too early, you could burn yourself out and then not have enough to finish.
Okay.
So T Max got 32 right now. And Baron Davis has 24. That's the matchup.
Okay.
And you know, they're going to him, right?
Yeah.
So like they are going to him, but it's a thing of like not trying to get too aggressive with going on the run right now because you're down and Charlotte is still scoring. Like,
yeah,
you know, you kind of want to trade those baskets. All right, so now you have the stop. Yep. So now you have the stop that you want. And look, we're in that 2.5 range right now.
yeah.
So now it's a thing of like we need to lock in offensively, defensively, and kind of like make our run here and go for it. Right? So besides that fast break, that David Wesley layup, Charlotte's had quite a few empty possessions as well.
Yeah.
Kind of going back and forth with the empty possessions. So now this is where you want to kind of like lock in, make sure you run a good set, have some type of there's these coaches at this time, I mean, you know, because you've been in my huddles, there are certain situations where it's like, no, this is what we're going to right here in this situation right now, given that we need a bucket. So there's these go-to plays, and there it goes. It's an isolation up top with a turnover.
He got ripped though.
But they were looking for getting him off a zipper and a 1-4 flat. That's what it looked like to me.
That's not a bad play.
And I believe they have.
But that puts him at the free throw line.
Yeah, see, so they have Stacey Altman guarding him. That is a tough matchup because, like I said, he's about the same build as T-Mac.
Yeah.
Right? And he was a defensive specialist. So it's like, Stacey Altman was good. So if it were me, and this is the thing is that this is what they didn't do then that they do now, which is they run that high screen and roll and force a switch on a smaller guy. And then they take that defender that was supposed to be there down into the 1-4 flat.
Yeah.
Right? And then so they're ISOing. All right, so here we go. There it goes. Now they've got the switch.
Good pump fake.
Yeah, but that's not the shot that they wanted. That is
not
the shot they wanted.
He probably could have pump fake, right? He got the dude in the air, and then he saw another defender. He probably could have hit him.
Forget all that.
In and out.
T-Mac should have pulled up mid-range. They got the switch that they wanted, but that's what I'm saying is that at this time, in these years, in this era, they're not looking for that situational switch on a big or a small that you can take advantage of.
Yeah.
It's more so like, all right, we're going to run this set. This is what we're going to run. And in that scenario, Troy Hudson is open on the wing. So we're going to swing it to Troy Hudson. Right? So we're still in the era of trust your teammates. Kind of like what Michael Jordan, you got, in order to win, you got to trust your teammates. And if it were me, knowing what I know now, if I'm the player or if I'm the coach, I'm saying, hey, you got to bring us home on this. And Stacey Altman with a big one. They're up 4 now, or are they up 6?
They're up 3.
They're up 3. Okay, so they're up 3 with a minute and a half. And we've got T-Mac on the post. See, we're passing out of a lot. We're passing out of a lot.
That was a really dangerous pass.
And now you got to get it to him.
Wow, that
took a really long time to get it to him.
Hey, but
now it's a tie ball game.
If I'm a coach,
it's a tie ball game, but that took a really long time to get it to him. Horace Grant was bobbling with that ball and stuff like that, and that's a testament to the fact that like, well, he's bottled up, so we got to try and get our own. Nah, he was wide open. We just got to look. There has to be more creativity offensively and more action to look for that because he was open for a minute.
Yeah, he was
tie
open
ball
for
game, 50 seconds. and we're calling a timeout. So now Doc is going to call up a play.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's why
Yeah.
it's a 20-second. And I don't know how Charlotte just lost T-Mac right
Yeah,
here.
I was just about to say I don't know if I blame the offense too much more than I would blame the defense for leaving Orlando's best player wide open.
Yeah, they let him open.
Which tied the game up.
Yeah.
So that cushion they had earlier, that 6-8 point lead earlier that they had.
But that's the thing is that they lost him because once he gave it up, he wasn't really getting it back.
Yeah.
And that's how the flow of the game was working.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, no, he's not getting it back. We got it out of his hands. Now we can kind of crash. All right, so now we're running the zipper.
40 seconds.
Nope. They can't get on the ball. Now we've got to clear out. And they do.
I got a finish. Was that a block?
I believe so.
I don't know.
I believe so.
I couldn't see it. I couldn't.
The fact that they couldn't get him the ball as quickly in that possession
is concerning.
Yes,
I was literally getting ready to say
because
that.
he didn't even. I said it was a zipper, but like looking back on it, they were just running a pin down for him. So they're just setting a down screen and having him come up. You got to get it to him early.
Yeah, but the point guard right there should have definitely.
That was Troy Hudson.
Okay, yeah, he should have definitely looked to attack.
All right, so let's look. Let's see what happens because he beat Stacey Augman.
Oh,
no, he gets fouled.
He got fouled.
He got fouled and it didn't get called. Because there he goes. He beat Stacey Augman and then Jamal McGlure just goes right across his head.
Yeah, that's a calm foul.
Yep. That's tough. That's really tough.
Now,
so we're at a 2-point game.
I feel like dude should have attacked instead, like you say all the time, dribble with purpose.
Yes.
Right there, he was not dribbling with purpose. He was.
Who do you mean?
T-Mac? No, not T-Mac. What's the point guard's name? Troy Hudgens.
Troy Hudson.
Oh, okay. So he was kind of like just dribbling, trying to like.
He wasn't trying to. He was waiting for T-Mac to get free.
To clear up. He should have probably attacked. That probably
here goes a 1-4 flat
seconds.
for Baron Davis with T-Mac on him, and that's a good shot. P.J. Brown misses that shot, but that's a shot that he can make.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Troy Hudson is not in the game. This is Armstrong.
Wow. Now I am.
Do they foul him here? Is that what that is?
I don't think that's the call. I think they might call a travel on that, honestly.
No, that looked like a travel, but it looked like he got a timeout. Right? He got the timeout.
When he slips, boom.
He slips, he calls a timeout. Yep, see, he calls a timeout. So Charlotte wants the travel call, but he calls timeout. Now, this time you can say timeout or motion for the timeout, and they can call it. So they're looking for a travel or a jump ball, and he gets you could see him saying it, and you see how he motions it.
Yeah.
So he gets that timeout off, and that's.
I don't know. That's questionable.
I mean, yeah, it's questionable. Sure, you can debate it either way, and like you can be right, but my whole thing is, he got it. So now, if you are the Magic. What do you run? Because now we're on to the next possession, and now, obviously it's an all-out denial for T-Mac. We don't want the ball in T-Mac's hands. But now, if you are Orlando, what kind of player are you running for? Where do you need him to catch? Because 8.1.
It's 8.1. Yeah, I would say top of the key. Honestly, top of the key. You can scan the floor. Yeah, 1-4 flat. If the double team comes.
See, they don't get it to him in time. They don't get it.
Why are they not giving to him?
They completely looked away from him there. Okay, so now we have a timeout here. Now there's 0.1 seconds. They got it from Mike Miller, who was a rookie at the time, and he was the rookie of the year. They ran a play for him. All right, so I get what Doc was trying to do, which was use T-Mac as a decoy because Mike Miller is a 3-point specialist, and he was the Rookie of the Year that year. But no, you need 2. The game is tied. You don't need a 3. You need 2. So now they put 0.4, no, 0.7 on the clock.
Wow.
I believe they're looking at the clock.
Wait.
So now,
don't tell me this is the game. Is
0.3?
this? I don't think it's 0.3, right?
Yeah. This is the 0.3 game.
I think this is the Baron Davis shot they wave off.
Yeah, this is it.
It is?
I believe this is it.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe this
Where
is
he
it.
catches at the top of the key.
But it's 0.3 though.
Oh, it is 0.3? Okay.
Yeah, it's 0.3. So now this is what they're looking at. They're looking at the
Where
clock.
was T-Mac?
T-Mac was all the way at center court. He was ran off as a decoy. So he called timeout with, he gets possession of the ball around like 0.7. He gets possession of the ball around 0.7. So, all right. I think they got it right there. I think they have it right.
I don't know. That play could have been completely changed, and Orlando would have had.
Listen, with me, we're either going home with my best player getting that shot, or we're going in overtime. I'm not trying to get too fancy or cute about this. Nah, everybody in the building knows it's going to T-Mac. Nah, man, go ahead. Go do what you got to do. And Baron Davis,
bang. And they wave it off.
Bank. Yep. You see the referee almost immediately as it happens, waves it off. Look, no basket. So now let's look at the replay and see what actually happens because he waved it off immediately.
Yeah.
He waved it off immediately. Now what they were saying was to turn and catch because he has to turn and catch.
Yeah, that was off in time.
Yeah, he gets it off in time. This is a terrible call, but we don't have.
There's 0.2 on the clock.
Yes, but there is no red lights. So now, here's another thing that came from this game: the red lights around the basket came from this game.
What?
Because as you can see, there's no red lights.
Yeah, there's no red lights.
So they had to change it to where there's red lights there going off so that when you review the replay, you can see the red lights and whether or not the ball's in his hands on the red light.
Wow.
Yeah. They wave it. It's a terrible call. It's a terrible call. He gets it off in time. It's a great shot. And he shoots it long, so it's a bank. But it's like, great shot because he knocks that down.
Yeah.
But he didn't have much time. He didn't have much time to do anything else.
That's literally all you could do in that situation, really.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, this changes the this game right here is a pivotal game in NBA history because this is where they do the red lights. This is where they decide that 0.4 is what you humanly possible, like what you have humanly possible to get a shot off. This is where they determine, like, well, if there's 0.8, maybe you get a dribble and a shot off, all that stuff. Because they're completely botching this right now as far as replaying and figuring out, who and what.
That's shocking.
Yeah. I want to see the angle that has him and the clock. Because if we're looking at it, it's like 0.2.
Yeah, it's 0.2.
And they wave it off immediately. They wave it off like, if you look at that referee.
Yeah.
Once
it's out of his hands, he's waving
like,
it
no,
off.
No, we're going in overtime. Yeah. Yep.
Wow. Hey, you see what I'm talking about? The lazy eye? Pointing this way, pointing this way.
Nah, man. That man is a stone cold killer.
He is a killer, though.
Yeah. So now we're in overtime, and they blow the call. So now we're in overtime.
That's crazy. I'm still in shock that I actually waved that off.
Yeah.
Is that a foul? I missed it.
Yeah, I missed it too. It's probably a foul on Horace Grant. Still in the league, too. Now, mind you, 3-peat with the Bulls. The first 3-peat. 3 championships there.
That was 91 through 93, right?
Yeah,
91,
91, 92, 93. 3-peat with the... No, he doesn't have the 3-peat with the Lakers. Because he's here.
No, because he's here, yeah. He joins
He
the
has
Lakers.
the 01 championship, though.
Yeah.
He goes to the Lakers for that. I believe he's on the Lakers for the first title, too. So he's got 5.
Wow.
Because remember, he's in the AI game.
Yeah, he is. Wow. I'm surprised he left Los Angeles.
Baron Davis knocks that down.
Yeah, he said.
You can bet he's pissed right now.
Oh, definitely. I'd be pissed too. Wave off a shot that I definitely hit. Now they're up 4.
They're up 4, and they're still having
That
difficulty getting it to T-Mac.
I don't understand why.
I can tell you why right now.
Why?
He's not doing much offensively to get the ball.
Really?
There's no movement in his offense. I mean, if you've been paying attention to what's been going on over the last couple possessions, they run a quick little pin down for him, and he's not coming off with the same, I guess you could say, enthusiasm that like an AI would in that same situation. We've seen AI, when AI needs to get the ball, like he comes and gets the ball. Because you're looking at what his teammates look like.
Oh, yeah. But T-Mac has a little more help than AI does.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think T-Mac's team here is better than the 01 team that makes it to the finals the year prior?
Yeah.
Think so?
Yeah.
So you think that this team right here could get a game off of the Lakers the same way that the 76ers did the year before this? Because I don't see it. And you saw all the stuff that I had to say about those
yeah.
06s were bad.
Oh my. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. He's really like standing around.
Yeah, it's stagnant. You know, it could be a thing of I don't even want to call it tired though. It's just a thing of their offense there's a lack of creativity in their offense as far as being able to get guys the ball. All right, so they're trying to clear out and get him on the post.
There we go. Good move.
He's passing out of a lot though. Good shot.
Good shot though. That's a 2-point game.
A lot. But it's a thing of the matchup that he has going against him right now. It's tough. Because he's got.
But he does have 5 fouls.
Stacey Augmon.
Yeah.
I don't know why T-Mac isn't playing that more aggressively. Because I'd be getting in his chest every single possession if he has 5 fouls. And why he hasn't fouled out the game or switched off of me as an offensive player. If you're playing me with 5 fouls, I'm getting you out the game.
I would take offense to that.
I mean, as a coach and you being the player, I mean, I have a pretty strong handle on who's got what fouls.
Yeah.
And the second that I see somebody in foul trouble, that's exactly who I'm isolating for. You've seen me just straight up point out guys like, hey, Foul trouble right there. Let's go. 14. ISO him out.
Yeah.
And I'll force the coach. I'll force that other coach's hand to get him out the game, especially if it's a starter.
Oh, if it's a key piece.
Yeah, I mean a great one was.
Am I seeing things? This is Thunder versus Nuggets, correct?
That's what I was telling you. Is that the broadcast that this is on that we're watching this from? They're watching a hardwood classic game, so this is not a live broadcast.
Oh, I was gonna say like at this time they were the Supersonics.
No, hardwood classic. Ooh, somebody just dropped.
Ooh, wow. And the fact that he fell on the floor and they stayed standing still.
That's a foul.
Wow, these refs are just missing obvious calls today.
All right, let's see what Baron Davis does with it because he just got away with a foul right there. And they're a 4 again. So they're back to their cushion that they've had pretty much all game.
Good move. Good shot.
Yeah, I mean.
Was that a 3 or a 2?
No, it was a 2. That was short corner. But, yeah, Baron Davis is just really good at moving the defense and shifting the defense and you know.
Yeah.
Getting guys out the way.
Yeah, he was shifting people earlier.
Moving guys off the lane, yeah. Like, the whole first half, it was just let me show you what I could do. Oh, steal. I wouldn't pass that up.
If I'm the coach, I'm
so pissed right there.
So pissed. No, not even just right there. He's been giving it up in key moments this whole time. Oh, never mind. I wasn't T-Mac. But still, that's a terrible.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about here. You go up on this. Right here, you go up on this. Him trying to pass this out as a like, no, don't know. You take that shot.
Yeah.
And honestly, this is a bad call because they should be taking that out underneath. This is not free throws. He was clearly in a pass.
Yeah, but we're making free throws today, though.
Yeah, but at the same time,
but it shouldn't be a free throw.
I'm pissed if I'm Orlando's coach.
Yeah, no, hold on again on them. Like, come on. Now we're down 8.
Yeah, I mean,
we were just down 1. Let it extend to 4.
But it's a thing of Baron Davis is making things happen for his team.
And T-Mac is not.
And T-Mac is having difficulty getting the ball. So.
Hold up. Vince Carter played on the Magic?
Yes. Yes, he did.
Wow.
Come on, man.
What is happening? Are you serious?
Body bumping.
Get up! Yo, the ref isn't gonna help you up.
Playoff basketball right there.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
I like that physicality.
Yeah. Do you like it though?
I like physicality. You know this. I don't duck smoke. Come on now. Come on now. I don't duck any smoke.
All right.
I don't.
All right. Thinking not both down. We're at a 6-point game right now. 7-point game. We missed the first one. So yeah, I mean,
wait,
right now.
Why did he take free throws? Are they in a bonus?
Because he got fouled. I'm assuming so. Because if they're giving David Wesley free throws when he was clearly passing the ball, then yeah, I'm assuming that we're in the bonus now and everything is free throws. I think that's Stacey Augman out the game.
Ooh, if that is, that's big.
I don't know.
If it is, that's big.
Yeah, it's big because I mean he's been doing a great job on T Mac in the second half. Now he's going to free throw line.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay, he made the first one, so now it's back to 8, right? Back to 8.
Yeah.
Staying at. Ooh, that would have been a very, very clutch tip in.
Yeah, I would have put the game away. 10 points, minute 21. That game would have been done.
Yeah. Now, you being the basketball wizard that you are,
Okay, I appreciate that.
if the Magic don't score here, is it a wrap for them?
Seeing as that we know that 13 points in 31 seconds isn't this game, I would say yes. Because it's very hard to manufacture that many points in that little time. I mean, it's happened.
It has happened.
It's happened, but it's
by a guy in his game, but
we're a few years away from that.
Oh, we are.
Yeah, I mean that happens in like 07.
What?
Yeah, I mean that it happens
I
when
thought
he's
that
on the
was-
Rockets.
Oh, that's
You
right.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
I thought I could have sworn he was on the
Baron
Rockets.
Davis
in
is
that
chewing up a lot of
yeah,
time right
he
there.
is. He did, but that was kind of smart though.
But that's what I'm saying is that Baron Davis chewed up a whole lot of time there, and now he's getting to the free throw line on top of it, so he can extend this lead. Even though the clock isn't moving right now, he's got an opportunity to
Put it back at 8.
put it back at 8 with a minute to go. You know, so
That's tough.
I mean, for him, it's funny because we were just talking about a game that we had that shouldn't have went into overtime, and then we kicked their ass in overtime.
Oh yeah.
But that's exactly what's happening here.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have went
They
in overtime.
should have went into overtime,
and
then
Baron Davis just kicked their ass.
and won. Might be a little too.
Yeah,
late,
we're looking at a guy who the offense is built around him, the ball's in his hands, versus a guy who the offense is built around him, and you got to get the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
So you see the dangers in, you playing that combo guard of if you have the ball in your hands, you make all the decisions, everything is fine. But when you don't have the ball in your hands, it's important for you to be active, running around, trying to get free and almost duplicate what Rip Hamilton, Reggie Miller did.
Yeah. When he ain't got the ball at 8.
Exactly.
Just running around.
They're running around and running off screens, or they're just running and making you chase them. Ray Allen is another good example. But T Mac in this game, he's not. And T Mac is, you can see, oh my gosh. That's dagger right there. That was dagger right there.
Was that on T Mac?
That was on T Mac. He shifted T Mac and sent him home.
Woo.
Yeah, he shifted him and sent him home. So.
Hey. That's space he created.
Yeah, I mean, that's. But T-Mac was also wondering, if you look at that possession, he was also wondering why he was on him in the first place. Because he was looking for a switch. He's frustrated.
Yeah.
9-point game.
37 seconds left.
Yeah.
Oof.
Baron Davis.
Another board.
He's close to a triple-double, I believe, in this game.
No.
We spent a lot of time talking about T-Mac, but like the sheer greatness of Baron Davis, and that's why I wanted to highlight this game, especially. But my thought of highlighting this game way back, and I remember telling you this in previous episodes. I wanted to go back and show you the brilliance of Baron Davis, and you're kind of just seeing it right now indirectly because we've spent a lot of this time
Talking about
focusing on
T-Mac.
T-Mac.
Yeah.
But it was in a good way because we're breaking down the bad things that he did, so to speak. The things that he could have adjusted. And, we saw him make those adjustments in the 13 points in 31 seconds.
People are leaving right now.
Yeah, it's over. It's a wrap. But, Orlando goes on to lose the series.
Wow.
Orlando goes on to lose the series because, like I said, it was a thing of T-Mac not being able to get out the first round was a real thing in his career. And this was one of those key games where he could have taken control of the series and they could have gotten out of the first round. But this was a buzzsaw of a Charlotte team. Like, this team was talented. And it was talented because the pieces fit for what Baron Davis did.
Yeah.
And he was just, this dude was dynamic. He was really good. So that's what we got right there. I believe it's 100, 110 to 100.
Yeah.
Yep. So
damn,
that's our episode.
That was kind of unexpected, honestly.
Any closing thoughts on that?
Closing thoughts? Honestly, I was not expecting that at all. I thought T-Mac was gonna realize in overtime he needs to kind of pick it up because last couple of minutes were shaky for Orlando, and that's why he was gonna pick it up in overtime. That's not what happened, and they lost by 10.
All right, so now my next question is, do you feel like you can relate this to anything in how you've been working over the last couple of weeks and once we eventually start getting back into games and stuff like that? Can you relate any of this to that?
In, like, workouts?
Workouts and games. Like, what can you take from this game, from watching T-Mac, from watching Baron Davis? Like, what can you take from their performances and apply it to your game?
Oh, okay, so... well, one, being more, what's the word, like, moving without the ball, definitely, because that's something T-Mac didn't do.
Yep.
And that's
moving without the ball is a must.
Yeah, that's a must. And
when in doubt, be like Baron Davis, man.
Hey, it worked. It worked in this game.
Yeah, so
I feel like Baron Davis definitely took that frustration from that terrible call and just went nuts in this overtime.
He completely controlled the overtime. He dominated the overtime.
Yeah.
Dominated the overtime. And we saw him dominate the first half. Not necessarily dominate the second half. Because, like I said, the focus was T-Mac.
Yeah.
But I did that for a reason to kind of just, like, show you, what the dangers are as far as, like, yeah, you can be the go-to guy on your team, but if your team has to get you the ball, then you better work to go get it.
Yeah.
He was just kind of standing around waiting, and they were never able to completely, because they tied the game. They were never able to take the lead. Yeah, they tied it,
yeah, but they couldn't take the lead.
Because he couldn't get them over that hump. So, yeah. I would say apply that to this week moving forward, workouts, games, things like that. And take us out.
Alright, so if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to leave it a like, subscribe if you're new, join the crew. You already know what to do. And we'll see you in tomorrow's video.
Am I going to see you guys in tomorrow's video? Probably not.